22nd of March 2025. I'm speaking loudly to be heard with people who can't hear properly. Rosie O'Donnell part 1. I may have to do 2 videos, I'm not sure. This is my response to Rosie O'Donnell. Now, I know Rosie O'Donnell a long time. I am in dispute with a few other people in Ireland as being the most admired, biggest admirers of President Donald Trump. Other people say they're bigger admirers. I claim I was backing him and admiring him from he came down the steps of Trump Tower in 2016. So I'm an Irish farmer with cows, born and bred in Ireland, living here all my life, and with parents and grandparents, all of the Irish descent, whatever that stands for. The first thing, she was brought on the Late Late Show, and I'm here all my life, and I cannot get on it. I am the Irish spokesman for the European Platform Against Wind Farms. I took several judicial reviews. I can't get on it. The programme she's on, RTE, has to get 350 million of taxpayers' money every year to spout their lies. Totally and utterly false and fake. The heading of my channel is RTE, Real True Education, Not Fake News. There it is. And that's the same as Radio Television, which used to be a decent Irish broadcaster, but which now is nothing more than a mouthpiece for George Soros and the globalists. Now, the first thing, I'll not get on it. So there's the first thing. She can breeze in here a couple of months ago and she gets on the Late Late Show, and no one with my opinion can. No person with conservative views is allowed on any of the mainstream media in Ireland. They have it all wrapped up. The first thing Keelty asked her is, he announced her having all these Emmy Awards. These are all the celebrities. They get Emmy Awards for waltzing around Hollywood and doing other things. And they thought they were going to swing the election. All of the woke crowd got down and backed Kamala Harris, and nobody listened to them. Nobody listened to them. They have a big control in the state of California, and when the fires broke out last summer, the idiots after Gavin Newsom had no water in the hydrants. That's how stupid your left-wing crowd are, Rosie. Now, Rosie might look at this and she'll probably turn off. I don't care. Now, she's an extreme woke. She's lesbian woman, but that wouldn't matter to me if she wasn't woke. She was on The View, a crowd of middle-aged women, all left-wing, all extreme for mass migration, all pro-abortion. The View is set up for that. And she was a comedian before that. Well, The View is not getting any heed anymore. They're all discredited. Whoopi Goldberg is another one. All there to try and attack the Conservative cause. And Rosie was a type of a comedian. And I remember looking at an English comedian, Rory Bremner, and he started getting political and attacking the right wing and the Conservative cause. And he didn't last. You shouldn't mix comedy with politics, because they're always left wing and the people soon get sick of them. And she tries that comedy in Ireland, we'll soon see. It'll suit the crowd around Dublin to listen to her. I wonder, will they? Now, so they're all anti-Trump. They were anti-Trump from the very beginning because he wanted to run on a Conservative cause. And she attacked him. She admits that on the programme. And then she expects he should sit there and let her away with it. When you, and it's a principle of law, when you attack other people, you throw away your shield, they're entitled to respond. And it's a case of the best one wins. And he who laughs last laughs longest. And it looks very much to me that President Trump is laughing last, and he's not half done yet. Now, RTE was run by Dee Forbes, a woke woman. She ran off, and when there was an inquiry, she wouldn't come back. Now, she was never asked about the Irish illegals. But I make the point, she's trying to get an Irish citizenship. Why, when she gets an Irish citizenship to come to live in Ireland, can the Irish illegals not get at least one citizenship to regularise their entry to the United States? Isn't fair exchange no robbery? Nobody has ever pushed that. She talks about people being fantastic, and this is an American trait. They all have it. Fantastic, fantastic. They overemphasize praise, but that's not necessarily exclusive to her. In fact, President Trump is always saying, fantastic, fantastic, unbelievable. This is the way to go on. Here in Ireland, we are sick of that. We don't praise each other at all. It's like two old farmers, and I overheard in the pub one asked the other, did you ever tell your son you loved him? And he says, never. And he says, why? He says, I never had to. The Americans, I know some have relations over there. Oh, I love my son. I love my... You don't have to tell them. If you behave right, you don't have to express your emotion at all. She loves Ireland, but wait till she gets the first electricity bill and the first gas bill. That might straighten her. Rosie is all for the Greens. She's a Democrat. They're Green New Deal. They're for stupid windmills that don't work, stupid solar panels, heat pumps, and all this old green crap. And everyone and it's not assessed. Here in Ireland, we are forced to live under a tyrannical government which refuses to obey the directives to assess all public plans and programmes, and they won't do it. And the results we have, our industry decimated. It's decimated in Britain, it's decimated in Germany. Now, she attacked Trump about his bankruptcies. Trump has umpteen companies. All of them don't always succeed. That's the law. There's nothing wrong with a person going bankrupt. They should pay their bills as best they can. He has a lot of companies. That is an ignorance of the company law. Solomon versus Solomon and the rules for companies. Not only that, she didn't give any account of exactly what these bankruptcies are. She talks about The Apprentice. This is a programme on television. Does she think we're that stupid here in Ireland to not understand that all reality TV shows are fake? They make 50 videos and they select one that goes well for them. Fake. WWF wrestling is fake. Mixed martial arts is not, or neither is boxing. But WWF is fake. So, she's on about The Apprentice, and it's lies. They're all lies. All of it's made up, and her view show is all made up. It's all concocted. There's nearly no truth on any programme. Maybe the finals of the football, and maybe an odd horse race. Then she talks about sexual assault charges that Trump has. A woman called Carol, 30 years ago, met Trump and he gave her a kiss. And she claims now that he groped her. You're talking about woke juries and judges that are now trying to defy President Trump when he's trying to harsh out the migrants out of the country. And that's to be fought for. The people voted for Trump, didn't vote for her. So that's another wrong statement. President Trump was never convicted of any crime under criminal law relating to sex. And the tax ones and all that were all persecuted by the woke Democratic Party. The thing about her name being brought up at the White House with Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach, is who asked that question? Was that a plant? Did Trump organise that woman to ask that question? Or in America, as I understand the White House, there's a press corps, and it's up to them to ask the questions, and they get an allocation of questions. It's them asked it. I don't think Trump would have brought up Rosie O'Donnell at all. There were several other things to discuss. That was never clarified. Who asked the question about Rosie O'Donnell coming to Ireland? Now, so folks, I had to make a note of the various points here. She says Trump is out to get her. Can she name one thing he ever did on her? Was her home raided? Did she get any prosecution? Would the police come round? And that was brought home to me by a Trump supporter who's in America but was home on holidays recently. None of them can say what he's done wrong. None of them can say what he's done wrong. She talks about the 2025 Heritage Foundation. That's a conservative foundation. What is that to do with Trump? They are a crowd to promote conservative values, not woke values. So they are, how does she take it up with them? She talks about the Department of Education being disbanded. It's full of the unions. It's woke. The teachers have a grip. The teachers' unions have a grip on it. They have infiltrated the whole thing. And they're into this thing of taking little kids and indoctrinating them without the parents' consent. She says special needs. There is no evidence that special needs is getting a raw deal. There's nothing in Trump's policies to downgrade the needs of anybody. That's an abject lie. The problem in America is the migrants. The problem in Ireland is the migrants. The services we build up for each other have to be shared with the whole world. She talks about the Supreme Court allowing Trump to rule the country. That's the law. You can't have the courts ruling the country. You can't have any court running the country. That's what the president is for, to run the country. Through thick and thin. That's the highest of ignorance. It's the people run the country to the ballot box, not the courts. The courts are there to make sure whatever's done complies with the Constitution, not Rosie McDonald's wishes. She says it's terrifying now. She wasn't asked to itemize one thing that Trump has done. Are there any homosexual people being beaten or arrested or anything else? She talks about how it's in the shops. Naturally, if you're a Democrat, woke, lefty, you're going to get stick in America. Hopefully, you'll get stick here too. If I meet you, I'll give you a stick. We don't want this. We're having migration shoved down our throats. We can't get a referendum on it. We had a referendum on women in the home. It was rejected 70%. We had a referendum on the definition of marriage to allow two men to be married and have the same rights and all of this. And lads from Timbuktu coming in here, Somalia, and then claiming to have a lover or another man over in Timbuktu, and he can come in and he has to get a house and medical treatment on our efforts. That was never asked. She questions the validity of Trump's election. What a cheek when in 2020 the Democrats rigged the election. They rigged the election. She can't understand why Trump won all the swing states. Would she like to tell us what Kamala Harris is waffling about with her word salad? The things of tomorrow are unburdened by the past. What the hell is she talking about? She lies to say Kamala Harris filled stadiums. Kamala Harris filled nothing. She hadn't any more than 200 or 300 or rent a crowd. Trump had thousands. There was people outside. What a dirty, rotten lie Rosie O'Donnell told on the Late Late Show. Trump had easily 100, if not 200 people for every one that she had. And I watched all the rallies, all of them. I watched them there at night when I've nothing better to do. I replayed them on the internet. That is a lie. Kamala Harris is an airhead, a dope, a junkie half. But because she's woke and she was going to let the Democrats run the country, how did she beat Joe Biden? Joe Biden was the obvious next candidate. Who shafted him? Who put in Kamala Harris without any vote? What happened to Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr.? How did they shaft him? Did anyone ask her that? She says America changed in shock and no support. What has it changed? What has it changed? It's 35 trillion in debt. What did she do to pay it? The debt rising, absolutely no fiscal responsibility whatsoever with the Democrats. She says Trump has no moral courage. What is she on about? A very successful businessman. No moral courage. When he got into power in 2016, he brought in the First Step Act. The Democrats had laws that had people, including black people, white people too, in jail for minor offences that weren't that violent, and some of them were only drug offences as young people, 18 and 19. And they were locked up for life. And Trump brought out the First Step Act. It's on the website there. And he gave them a second chance, and it'd do you good to see it. RTE never played that. Well worth looking at and finding it. Trump's Day Out, where he brought them in, and they were all thanking him very much. And one lady was 42. She was in jail all her life, and she says, "This is a great chance for me." A lovely lady. Ordinary people, not your swanky celebrities. She quotes Jane Fonda, says woke people is about caring people. Woke is about caring. Who the hell wants to know what Jane Fonda thinks? Her job is imitating other people as an actress. That's all. Nobody listened to them. How is woke about caring people? Is she saying nobody ever cared for people before there was woke? Well, that's a lie. Because woke is not about caring people. Woke is about indoctrinating the youth to destroy society by getting them doubting their sexuality, by making it impossible for people to rear children, to print money for nothing, just out of thin air and no control on it, to destroy jobs, to allow the whole world come in, to have to share the wealth of a country with everybody who just comes in. And no check put on it. And Kamala Harris was borders are. What did she do to control migration into the US? Nothing. McGregor's civil case is not a conviction, it's a finding. It's a finding of fault, and it's under appeal. And if he's acquitted, he should sue her. He should sue her. Sexual abuser. The criminal law is there to deal with that. There's no conviction under criminal law. She says we're in trouble when McGregor gets into the White House. We're in trouble here in Ireland, where there's more migrants brought into small country towns than there are local people. She said that Trump is pushing cruelty. Where is the cruelty? Where is the cruelty? She never itemised what the cruelty is. She referred to her therapist. So now we have this therapist who's an unnamed person we can't see dictating what is good and what is bad. A head shrinker. I made a video on psychologists. That's probably what she is, I don't know. So this therapist is away off in New York and is entitled to spout her baloney on the Late Late Show with no check or question. Now, she talks about her autistic child. Isn't Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy trying to sort all that out and improve the health of the people? The Trump administration is the first one to take health seriously. And Robert Kennedy was shafted. A decent man. Couldn't get any go or any chance in the Democratic Party. He had to leave and join the Trump administration, where he's doing a brilliant job to help people with their health. She talks about the Vietnam War. That upset her when she was young. I don't have a problem with that. What about the Biden administration and the Obama administration promoting the Ukraine war? What about the British government and Boris Johnson stopping peace? There was an attempt to have peace between Zelensky and Putin a month after the invasion started, and Boris Johnson and Victoria Nuland, Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, went over and told him no peace. There must be no peace. That's your bloody Democrats, Rosie. I think the Vietnam War might never have happened. It wouldn't have made a bit of difference if they never went over there. 54,000 Americans killed. Who is trying to get peace in Ukraine? Who has done more to bring peace and got a ceasefire of the energy infrastructure? Donald J. Trump. That's who. What did Biden do? He promoted the war, financed the war, threw the money into it. 1 million people dead. You ever read up, Rosie, what caused the war? No, she didn't want to know that either. She says there's no pubs in America. That is absolutely nonsense. There is pubs. On Queens Boulevard, New York, you have Charlie's Sports Bar. You have Sean Oakes in Queens, in Woodside. And I was in Gardner, Montana, and there is a pub there. And I was in Hill City, South Dakota. There's a lovely pub there, a great pub, and we had fierce fun in it. This is all baloney. She lives in Howth. How can she afford to come over there? Our children, the ordinary people of Ireland, cannot afford to get houses in Howth. We can't afford to get houses in our own towns. And anything there is given to migrants. She talks about a service dog. Well, that's all right. But was the dog checked for rabies? I understood that there's rabies in America. I'd like to know, is that safe? But I'm not making a big deal. That's a selected audience who are clapping. That's all fake. If you went in there and booed her, they'd put you out. She talks about this Adam ASMM. Is he Leo Varadkar's brother? He has autism and all that. And a walk on the April the 5th. She's not home a wet day till she's stuck into the bleeding heart causes. And she wants donations. Oh, there's plenty of money in Ireland. She'll be out to grab that. She talks about helping some of her friends to buy a bra. All right. Well, then why is she supporting the severing of the breasts of girls by the woke brigade? When they're just teenagers, they cut the breasts off them. They castrated Elon Musk's son. Her crowd. The ones that she supports. She didn't do it, of course. So, no word about migration. She obviously supports mass migration. No word about what Fitzgerald Kennedy's doing. Is that good or bad? Her brother Daniel is a politician in America. I'll bet he's a Democrat. She says she loves newborn babies. I just love the face of a newborn baby. What is her view on abortion? Particularly up to the day before the baby's born, the American Democratic Party is in favour of pulling the baby from the mother's womb at 9 months and smashing its head with a hammer. Now, Rosie, why weren't you asked that? Well, now, I'm telling you, if my health sticks at Rosie, I advise you, shut the hell up. Live your life up there. We are not against you. Go about your everyday stuff and just keep your head down. But we had another yoke coming over here from America. Come over here. And the jackasses in working class areas of Dublin voted for her. And I wouldn't be surprised if the donkey's arses in Dublin would vote for this one. Would vote for Rosie O'Donnell. Wait till you see she'll be in with people before puberty before too long, or the Labour Party, and she'll be looking for votes. Well, Catherine Savone got them. She got the votes. She went into the Dáil. She was a lesbian woman that put her in charge of children. She made a complete dog's dinner of it. There was an inquiry. When the inquiry started, she humped off back to America and refused to come back to give evidence to the inquiry. What is wrong with the people of Ireland and Dublin? Are you so inferiority in your complex that you have to have a woke Yankee, do-gooder, telling you what's good for you? Have you no way of thinking for yourselves? That's my view, folks, on Rosie O'Donnell. I have it all done in one video. There won't be another video. But I might do more on her. There's nothing wrong with coming over and all that. This thing of escaping Trump. He never asked her, what did Trump do wrong? What has happened? Has any school been closed? What about the USAID throwing the whole money of America away to causes in foreign lands, all woke? condoms, promoting LGBTQ in Uganda. And we don't know what else they were doing. When the people of North Carolina couldn't get help with the hurricane. When the people of California got nothing. They give the people of North Carolina $700 and the home's gone. Nobody asked her this. Folks, comment underneath. That's my first make on Rosie O'Donnell. I have a feeling it won't be the last. Keep your head down, Rosie, or you'll meet me. And I'm challenging you now, Rosie, to a debate. I'm an Irishman, and I am fervently against the woke agenda. I'm against the globalist agenda, and I'm very, very much in favour of President Donald Trump. And Conor McGregor. He may not be perfect, but what you're proposing is misery. Misery. It has wrecked Europe. Now they're panicking that Putin's going to invade them. Your children could be drafted into the European army. We'll see how you like that. Comment underneath, folks. Let's hear from you. And Rosie, you can write Val Martin, Kingscrew County Cavan, and I'll meet you. No problem. No problem. Good luck. Bye.